Hey everyone, today is August 24th, 2017. Today's video is for the traveling numbers. They're good for the next 7 to 10 days. For those of you who are new, traveling numbers, they're just numbers traveling to multiple states. If they have hit your state today or the past 2 weeks, then disregard the numbers and only keep them if your state likes repeat numbers. One thing too, I wanted to give you guys a brief rundown of my channel for those who are new, just based on a couple of the comments I've received. I think you guys are pretty new to the channel, so I'm going to give you a brief rundown. Every month, a couple days before the month, I'll post monthly numbers. And then normally early Thursdays, I'll post the traveling numbers, and then I'll also post just side projects that I'm doing. Right now I'm doing what's called the pi adjustment, or disregard that for a second. It's the pi method that I use sometimes. And I use 3.14 and also add in 159 sometimes. There have been a couple requests to show you guys how I start that method, and I'll show you a brief example at the end of the video here. And before you ask, I'm not going out of order. The next state will be Washington for that method. And I do have to push that state to September 10th. Right now, I just don't have time to post it this weekend. I am looking at the September numbers, and I just don't have time to do both. So on September 10th, I'll post Washington. Or, that week at least. And then after that, I'll be working on the C states. But for those of you who are asking just for like a brief example, make sure you stick around to the very end of the video. And I just have a very, very brief example at the very end. Okay, so for this week, one thing too, if you are new, I don't do today's numbers, so don't ask me that. If you don't know what that is, basically, so let's say hypothetically, 163 hits your state tomorrow in the daytime. I'm not going to be able to tell you what number is going to hit your state that night. It's a lot more complicated than that. And I'm not able to do it. I wish I could. That would be amazing, but I can't. So anyway, so the traveling numbers for the next 7 to 10 days is 211, 313, 531, 359, and 810. The one number I would probably focus on would be that 359. I have not seen any of the numbers hit straight consistently this week. So the one I was seeing a bunch was 359. The reason I placed 616 and 199 there, if you've been with the channel for a little while, I say this all the time, but 313, 616, and 199, in a lot of the states, they do fall relatively close together. So make sure you double check your states and see if that's the case. And then going forward, you'll know, I could probably play 616 and 199. Okay, so that's it as far as the traveling numbers. In the next section, I'm just going to show you guys just a brief example for those who were asking on how to start the pi method that I use. And again, I'm not going to be going out of order, so next time is Washington. But in the meantime, you guys can try this stuff on your own too. So, alright, so the next one, so the pi method, if you're not aware, all that is you're going to take 314 And then in the case that I'm using, I just add in 159. So the steps, all you do, the day that I like to start with is Saturdays. It doesn't mean necessarily that your state will like Saturdays. That's just where I like to start to test it. The next thing I wanted to say is all of the states, they're going to have different adjustment things on them. You have to test it and figure it out. So this number right here, that 758, that's a hypothetical number. So let's say, for an example, let's say 758 had hit a hypothetical state, right, on Saturday. In my case, I always like to use the evening draws. You don't have to. You can always try it for the day side also. The one reason as well that I like to use July 1st, I always like to go back at least a month, because this method might work great for the first couple Saturdays that you try, but it may fall apart after 3 to 4 weeks. So that's why I like to go back that far. So let's say, for an example, let's say you had 758 on this hypothetical state. So before I do that, so on the bottom there, one thing I just want to reiterate is that all of the states are going to have different days bringing in the numbers. So you might try the Saturdays and go from July 1st and then go on to the next Saturday and the next one and the next one. But Saturday may not work for your state. You might have to go to, Sunday and Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday. It's just something you might have to do. And then one thing too, I know in West Virginia, that's the state that I just did that video for. One thing with them, so I don't remember what day it was, but there was one day that I was using, let's say hypothetically it was Wednesdays. I think that was the one I was using. Yeah, that's the one I decided to go with for West Virginia. On that one, I think on their Tuesdays, they were bringing in some box hits also. But on Wednesdays, they were bringing in straight hits also. So I went ahead and chose Wednesdays because, as we all know, we always like straight hits versus box hits. So that's why. So you kind of have to determine that also. Okay, so this is a brief rundown, guys. So that hypothetical number that hit on July 1st on Saturday was 758. You're just going to take 758 or whatever number hit on your state on Saturday or whatever day you're using. You're going to add in that 314 and then that number right there, that 062. That number you want to just keep in your mind, okay? So 062, keep that in mind. The next one, when you subtract off 314, you got 444. So you're going to keep that one in mind. And then that 062, see right there? You're just going to do add in 159. Not for any reason, it's just a number that I like to use. So you just do, and that gives you 111. When you subtract it, it's going to give you 913. Keep those in mind. And then the next ones was the 444, which you got from up here. So you're going to add in 159, which gave 593. And then 444 minus 159, which is 395. So keep all of those in mind, all those numbers. So the 062, 444, 111, 913, 593, and 395. Okay, so you're also going to mirror the number that hypothetically hit on Saturday or whatever number you're using. And then, so the mirror to 758 is 203. So add in 314, that gives 517. And then if you subtract it off, it's 999. The next one, so you got 517 right here. You're going to add in the 159, it gives you 666, and then you're going to do minus 159, so 468. So keep those in mind, and then the 999, you got it from down here, so 999, and you're going to add in 159, so 048, and then you're going to subtract off, and that's 840. So in this hypothetical example, what I'm looking for is I'm comparing it to the next 7 days. So let's say hypothetically, on the next 7 days you had 178, 942, 829, 527, 825, 834, and 457. None of those, if you compare them, like none of those hit with these numbers here, right? So from there, what you do is you're just going to go to the next Saturday, so July 7th, and you're going to go and do the exact same thing I just showed you. And then if none of the numbers match the next 7 days of the numbers, then you keep going to the next Saturday, and so on and so on. You might eventually have a box or a hit, or not a box, or a box or a straight. You can't really count it because you want to, basically your goal is you want to have it where you're getting a hit, every single week. So what you would do, so I guess I misspoke, guys. So because you didn't have any hits at all from this week, then you would just go on to the next Saturday, or not, you would go on to the next day on Sunday, and then do the exact same thing I was showing you guys. If you do that all the way from Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and then all the days, if none of those have a box or a hit, then from there what you have to do is you have to make adjustments. So your same goal, this is the same goal basically. So just give me a minute to think about it. 1 second, okay? 1 second here. So I didn't have the numbers down here as a hypothetical, but let's say, you see how this was 517, and let's say you guys had 185 hit like 2 days later. So from there, I need to subtract off 1 on the fall, like each and every single Saturday following that, to test the numbers. And then, so let's say you went to July 12th and you did the exact same thing, but let's say you had 913. Let's say that was your number that hit the following Saturday on July 12th. But the number like 3, or let's go with a different one. So like 813. Let's say, just for an example, let's say that. So you at that point you would know, oh, that -1 works for this state. But at that point you still don't know, okay, well, is this going to work all the way until like now, like this past Saturday. I can't remember what day that was off my head, but let's say that was what happened. So let's say you test each and every single Saturday, and you have at least one number that you can subtract 1 off of or add 1 to, and you got a box or a straight. Then you know that method works for your state, and you know what day, like Saturday, for example, and you know that -1 or +1 works for your state. So that's pretty much it. I know it's a very rough explanation. If you guys do have questions, I'm not going to be, like doing the workouts in your states yet, but if you have like a very, not simple, that's the wrong word, but if you have a very easy question that I can answer, or if you're doing this method on your own and you have a very quick question on like, I don't know, I can't think of something off my head right now, but if you have a very easy question, then let me know. If you do want me to show you like a more like in-depth than what this is, then let me know. It would be a very long video probably, but I don't mind doing that more in depth if if I have time in September. Just let me know. Hopefully that helps a little bit. And if you are new, you do need to sit down and do the workout so it makes sense. Or if you don't do workouts like this on your own very much, then you'll need to also do the same thing. If you get stuck anywhere when you're trying it, just let me know in the comments. And that's pretty much it. And again, hopefully that helped a little bit.